Hey everybody, this is my 40-gallon native tank, and today we are going to do a simple before and after water change. I'm going to get a lot of the tannin out of the tank. It's getting really tea stained. It's getting hard to see in there. It's getting so dark. I've got a ton of plants that need to be removed. Not only do I have a bunch of duckweed floating in this tank, but I've also got a lot of this water sprite that I want to remove now that we're getting some new growth generated out of the rosette in the center there. I want to go ahead and start trimming back some of this peripheral stuff that's no longer really necessary for the plant to thrive, but is sucking the light out of the tank. It really, it's basically like I put a giant umbrella over the tank. So we're going to get in there. We're going to do a little bit of maintenance. We're going to wipe the glass down, and then we are going to have a little chat about the tank afterwards. I'm actually prepping some experiments. We're going to be talking about remineralizing our water. We're going to be talking about my crayfish in this tank, which I actually just spotted back there behind the power head, or underneath the power head in the far corner. That is the one crayfish I have left in the tank, and I think I'm having issues with my crayfish because of their molting problems due to lack of mineralization in my water. And again, we're going to discuss all that in an upcoming video. Today's video is just going to be a regular old before and after. So there you go. There's a good look at your before. And there's your after. Now, some of you have already seen the beginning part of this video because when I was doing a water change, I discovered some Gambusia fry in the tank, and I was so excited about it. I shot a video, and in my rush to get it posted, I posted the wrong video, and I actually posted the before part of this video before a few of my viewers pointed that out, that wasn't quite the right video. And so I went ahead and got that swapped out. So for those of you that saw the beginning part of this video already and were wondering what my big exciting development was in the tank here, it is just that. I discovered Gambusia fry. So I do have the mosquito fish in there successfully breeding. Now again, remember, mosquito fish are close relatives to guppies. They are live bearers and they are not difficult to breed. But I've never actually had them breed in any of the tanks anytime I've ever kept them. And so seeing them in there and seeing that I had a successful breed was kind of exciting. Now I will also say I've only one other time have I ever kept the Gambusia in a tank by themselves. They've always been in tanks with other fish, so it's possible that I was getting fry before. But, anybody that's kept guppies in a tank that has other fish in it know that you seldom see any guppy fry swimming around because they don't last very long. And so that's possible that I was always losing them before I ever got to see them when I had the Gambusia in the other tank. The only time I ever had them in a tank solely by themselves was very early in my fish keeping days, and I wanted to experiment with nitrate and find out if it was really as deadly as everybody was saying. And so I set these guys up in a very small tank all by themselves. In fact, it was that very small tank right there many years ago. And I left a bunch of Gambusia in there and just really fed the tank like crazy and never did any water changes. And I basically treated it the same way I treat my snail tank now. And after about 6 months of that, I just got tired of doing the experiment, and I got rid of all the fish and put them in different tanks, and everything was fine. I never did discover anything other than the fact that the fish were fine. But I also never saw any babies in there, so possibly the high levels of nitrate that I was keeping them in during that experiment was preventing them from breeding or something. I suppose that's a possibility, but it certainly didn't kill them or affect their appetite or anything that I could notice. So anyway, there you go. Not a lot to talk about with the before and after part. I wiped the glass down, did the big water change, and of course, as I said, I was going to remove a bunch of that water sprite. I had a ton of floating water sprite in there too that had already been in the tank before and had been growing and breeding and creating little baby offshoots and so on and so forth. So I pulled a ton of that out. I threw it in my grow out tank. It is lace leaf water sprite, so I do have a bunch of that available now. You will find my email down below in the description if you're interested. I always have some kind of aquatic plants for sale, and right now what I've got the most of now is going to be that lace leaf water sprite. So I've got lots of that, and of course anybody that wants duckweed, I've always got duckweed available. I actually, believe it or not, have had a few people buy duckweed from me. So if you want duckweed, I've got that. And I also am willing to throw out the idea of throwing in some filter squeezings for sale. If anybody needs any of those, I was working on a tank today and it occurred to me that that would be something that would be helpful to other people. If they actually needed any filter squeezings, you could contact me and I'd be more than happy to provide you with some of those as well. So there you go, everybody. There's my little before and after. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out my Patreon page if you're interested in that. I've been posting a lot of stuff over there lately, so you get some behind the scenes stuff, a little bit of look at the things I got going on, that I'm working on, projects, experiments, that sort of thing. All that's kind of already over on my Patreon page, so you get kind of a preview of what's going to be coming up here on the YouTube in the very near future. So thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you real soon in the next one.